back, guys. Welcome back to Oreos. Josh here. I hope you're having a good day. What is today? It is Wednesday, March 26th. We're getting closer to April 2nd, Liberation Day. I'm excited. I hope you guys are too. We're going to cover some more about Liberation Day later on this week. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate your guys' support. Appreciate you guys liking and sharing our videos. It means the world to us. It gets the information out. And we talk about quite a bit of things on here. So thank you guys for being in here. Let me give a shout out to those folks that were in here already. Old Uncle Bill. He got here on time today. It's about time, man. I thought old Uncle Bill was a DEI hire for a minute. Cade, Texas, what's up? Hunter from the Netherlands. Susan K. Spencer. Who else we got in here? Deb V. Hello. How are you doing? Real Sweet is in the house. And let's see. Got some more coming in. Trina. Thank you guys for being in here. We appreciate you all. And we got some crazy things to talk about. We mentioned yesterday, and this has been taken over. I wouldn't say taken over the news. I would say taking over legacy media, which is the failed MSNBC. And we're going to show you some contrast and comparison to just some things in the past. And what we're talking about was the signal communication between like Tulsi, the CIA director, Ratcliffe, the Department of Defense, Hegseth. They were working on some communications about some bombings that were going on in Yemen. And somehow a far leftist reporter from the Atlantic was included in these messages. It's a screw up. It's a screw up, without a doubt. Not going to try to sugarcoat it. But yesterday, and I listened to about, I'd say 2 hours of different news coverage just on this. We mentioned it a little, but I was like, you know what? They're going to drag it out. I'll drag it out, and we'll talk about it tomorrow when more details come out. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about that. Going to talk about the hypocrisy. Talk about these people calling for Hegseth's resignation. Now, I want you to understand the operation, excellent. Not one U.S. service member injured. No, everything when is planned, just like, you know, the top, when you have top leaders and you have a great military, the things you could do. But for some reason, Democrats aren't worried about your prices anymore. They're not worried about your Medicaid. They're not worried about your Social Security. You know why? All that was fake. They'll get back to all that soon. But there was no cuts to Medicaid. There was no cuts to Social Security. They wanted scare tactics. And now the party who pissed on our veterans when they came home, the party that couldn't even grieve 13 service members when we had the failed Afghanistan withdrawal, where we had a president looking at his clock during the funeral, they're outraged. This could have hurt our soldiers. It's actually pretty laughable. We're gonna get through it. Yesterday, when the Atlantic put the information out that their journalist wasn't there, he said it was war plans that were late. War plans, because again, they need the fluff. Oh my gosh, I want to know the locations. I want to know who the targets are. I want to know what time it's going to happen. Well, none of that was actually in the text message thread. So today, they kind of scale back a little and then say attack plans. You see the difference between war plans and attack plans? Well, again, that's just what we're going to talk about. Chris B's in the house. Thank you, Chris, for being in here. And again, hit that thumbs up, share. And let's hope we have a great show. It's all up to you guys if we have fun or not, by the way. So this was what our press secretary put out. Oh, wrong button there. Here we go. And it says the Atlantic has conceded These were not war plans. The entire story was a hoax written by a Trump hater who is well known for his sensationalist spin. And so again, I got to repeat, like if I didn't know the story and I seen the so-called Democrat outrage, I was like, first question, how many people did we lose? And then when you answer 0, it went as planned, I'd be like, okay, so they had a blunder. They somehow, and there's some information we're going to get into. Laura Loomer's done some investigative work of one of Trump's appointees that might not be the best fit. She could be far off. She could be far on. The great thing about Laura Loomer is she's doing the investigative work and she's actually doing something. So this was the actual tweet there that says, here are the attacks plans that Trump advisors shared on Signal. Okay, so they're attack plans. You have folks, and again, we're going to get into this. This was Pete Hegseth. They're asking for Pete to resign. They're saying John Ratcliffe should be fired, the director of the CIA. Just all kind of typical Democrat stuff. They have nothing else. They can't talk about anything positive from their party. So it's attack, 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 defame, 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 slander, slander, slander. And again, I'm not trying to deny that there wasn't an issue and that the Trump administration needs to get together and say, we need to ensure this never happens again, which is what happens in your business and our business, has been happening in our U.S. military probably since its existence. I used to hate one of my bosses that always said everything that went wrong. And again, you need to figure out what goes wrong with stuff. And I know hate's a strong word, but if anything went wrong, it didn't matter if it was my department or not. My department usually ran pretty smooth. But within minutes of him getting an email from me or somebody else that there was an issue, he'd be at my door in my office, opening my door. You got that RCA ready yet? I want RCA for what? Well, some goods came in damaged. Yeah, it was damaged through UPS. Well, we need that root cause analysis. And I'll never forget, man, I used to wake up in the morning in bad dreams hearing root cause analysis because there was a time and a place for it. Trust me, I wanted to take away all the things because guess what? Whether it was product coming in the door damaged or whether it was product that went missing or whether it was product that was not form, fit, and function for our manufacturing facility, it put a burden on me. It made me stay longer at work. Instead of 10 hours, I was staying 12. And, but again, the root cause analysis that he would always ask for, it was kind of funny. And I know that's just a side note here, but here's what Pete Hegseth said today. Says, so let me get this straight. The Atlantic released the so-called war plans, and those plans include no names, no targets, no locations, no units, no routes, no sources, no methods, and no classified information. Those are some really crappy, he says another word, but Pixie's probably in here, and I don't have $1 for the swear jar. He says those are some really crappy war plans. This only proves one thing. Jeff Goldberg has never seen a war plan or an attack plan, as he calls it now. Not even close. As I type this, my team and I are traveling to Indo-PACOM region, meeting with commanders, the guys who make real war plans, and talking to troops. We will continue to do our job while the media does what it does best, peddle hoaxes. And I couldn't agree more. But let's listen. We got some important information from Hakeem Jeffries because, like I said, nobody died. Nobody was injured. Nobody was compromised. Let's fire people. Listen.
The buck stops with the President of the United States of America, which is why I made clear. The buck stops with the President of the United States of America, which is why I made clear to President Trump yesterday in my correspondence that the Secretary of Defense should be fired immediately if he's not man enough to own up to his mistakes and resign in disgrace. The buck stops with the president of the United
So
States of America, which is why I
dollar
made clear.
store Obama. Man, those are some strong words, dollar store Obama. Should be fired or man up and resign in disgrace. The man just did an operation that went flawless. There was an issue. Obviously, somebody added somebody to that thread. But yesterday, all I heard all day long, and I should have brought up more tweets from him, was I can't believe they're using Signal. I can't believe they're using Signal for these communications. And we'll get into that a little bit, but Signal is approved by the Department of Defense. We're actually going to get into some stuff a couple months before the election, maybe a month before the election, where Biden's administration said if you're going to communicate and you want to communicate securely, use Signal. You can't make this stuff up. But again, they didn't know. They didn't have any answers. Democrats were just like, oh, they use Signal. We'll blame that. And then it changed. And then, now you're not hearing a whole lot about the Signal stuff, are you? It's just absolutely insane. And it's been used by folks in the Biden administration before Trump was president. It's all fake outrage. What did Hakeem Jeffries say when we lost 13 soldiers in Afghanistan? Oh, he was silent. He don't care
President
about
Trump
the death
yesterday
of soldiers. He just cares about attacking the Department of Defense because it was one of Trump's picks, and they are scared of that. Listen to this. This is Rep. Jason Crow again. He's kind of, I almost said something. Man. Wouldn't have been good. Wouldn't have been PG-13. He's kind of kissing a lot of butt. He's trying to climb that Democrat ladder. He's doing the exact same thing Dan Goldman has done over the last 2 years. Try to be the poster child for the Democrats. Look, I'm a staunch fighter. Donate to me. Put me up there. Listen to what he says right here.
Incredibly dangerous things on our behalf. And I spent my life in service to this country. I deployed 3 times to combat in service to this nation. I learned in that time in service that responsibility is core to leadership. You accept responsibility when things go wrong. You admit mistakes. You set the standard from the very top. It is completely outrageous to me that administration officials come before us today with impunity, no acceptance of responsibility, excuse after excuse after excuse, while we send our men and women downrange to do incredibly difficult, incredibly dangerous things on our behalf. And yet, nobody is willing to come to us and say this was wrong. This was a breach of security and we won't do it again. It is outrageous and it is a leadership failure, and that's why Secretary Hegseth, who undoubtedly transmitted classified, sensitive operational information via this chain, must resign immediately. There can be no fixes, there can be no corrections until there is accountability, and I'm calling on the administration to move forward with accountability.
Accountability. And again, the Trump administration, all those people in our intelligence agency instantly said they're looking into it. They're trying to figure out how that leftist reporter got put into the chats. And but again, the calls, guys, the outrage. Like, I haven't seen Pocahontas this outraged since she got outed for being a fake Indian. And speaking of Pocahontas, she said the American people aren't stupid. Pete Hegseth disclosed sensitive information. Now it's no longer war plans. It's no longer attack plans. Now they've had to downgrade it to sensitive information. Not even classified information. Do you not see what's going on here? Put our troops at risk and then lied about it. Trump must fire Hegseth. Sensitive information. So now Pocahontas, she's over here and she's like, oh, I classify, I know what's classified. I know what's sensitive. I know. The operation went off without a hitch. It was beautiful. And you know what? was interesting is they tried to use some of these chat messages and to try to make them look bad. And I read through those messages and I was like, these people in private, when they are communicating are the same people they show us when they're doing an interview. Same attitude, same love for America, same, I guess you could say, vigor for other countries. It was just absolutely incredible that we were watching this go on, and that we got to see it. Adam Schiff, you know, the one that lied to the American people when he was on the Intelligence Committee, said that they had overwhelming proof that Trump colluded with Russia. We have to impeach Trump. Turned out it was all fabricated and all a lie. Yeah, that guy. He put this out. I just, again, it's Democrats have nothing. They can't say, hey, we're the party of the middle class. We're the party of you folks. We're the party. No, they've been proven they're not. They're the party of men and women's sports. How about this? Why were senior Trump administration officials using Signal, here we go, in foreign countries to communicate about sensitive national security matters? We need answers and accountability urgently. So again, it went from using Signal. I can't believe they were using Signal for this secret war planning. It wasn't war planning. War planning was actually done on the ground. War planning is not done through Signal, if you guys know. When you plan wars, and again, I've never been in a war. I've watched plenty of documentaries after wars have happened where they've shown video where these people are looking at these maps, they're looking at their intelligence, they're looking at this, they have all this stuff, and then they talk to people like Pete and say, yes, we have a target. Pete's not sitting right, Pete Hegseth's not sitting right there over a map. I mean, he might be when he travels, but that's not what he's doing over Signal, folks. But that's what Democrats want you to believe. But again, they're done with the war planning. That went away last night. Imagine that. But we got more for you because, again, where's the outrage? So in December 2024, if you guys don't know, this was 1 month after the election. Biden was the president. Take a look at this. 1 month before the Trump administration was set to come into office, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Administration issued a guidance. The Biden administration directed government officials to use end-to-end communications like Signal as well as password managers. Security experts better review. This goes into other stuff, but here we go. This is, again, this was before Trump took office. This is under the Biden administration. The Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency has detected that China pretty much has done some things, and it says best practices. And in those best practices, it says to use communication tools like Signal. So what? That was a Democrat administration, but now it's coming out. Guess what? Signal is loaded on to it when you get into the CIA, when you get into the Department of Defense, and you get your government phone. That's loaded on there already. And what's interesting, one of the people's in this text thread, more fake news, they said, oh, this person was in Russia communicating from their personal cell phone on Signal. Now, where would they get that information, right? Turns out it was a complete lie. The person that was in Russia didn't have their personal cell phone nor their government cell phone. Instead, the government sent them with an encrypted server device. They know what they're dealing with in Russia. They know exactly what these people are up to. But again, the fake news, people like Adam Schiff, Dollar Store Obama, they all ran with these stories like they were true, just like they're cutting Medicaid and Social Security, which is an absolute lie. Only places that are cutting Medicaid, it looks like, are probably going to be California, because we spent $9.5 trillion with a T on illegal alien healthcare, And also New York, Governor Kathy Hochul switched their contract to their Medicaid programming to an out-of-state agency. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. I got some videos on that. And now there's over 100,000 people, seniors, that are going to lose their health insurance. But I don't see Democrats crying anywhere. What happened, Democrats? Just absolutely insane. This was from Laura Loomer. Says an exclusive. I'm going to read this to you. Alex Wan, the Chinese deputy national security advisor. So he was appointed national security deputy national security advisor by President Trump. This is Laura Loomer who's doing this reporting, who is at the center of the Signalgate scandal, is married to U.S. attorney Candice Chiu Wang, a Chinese woman who is one of the key attorneys involved in prosecuting J6ers. Now, I don't know about you, but that seems like a very big conflict of interest. It says Alex Wang was appointed by President Trump on 11/22/24 to serve as the assistant to the president and the principal deputy national secretary advisor under Mike Waltz, the newly appointed U.S. national security advisor. I have discovered that Alex's wife, Candice Chiu Wang, worked under the Obama administration and the Biden administration as an assistant United States attorney in the United States Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia, where she led the Violence Reduction and Trafficking Offenses section for more than 2 years. She was involved in many of the prosecutions of many of the J6ers during the Biden regime, under which she was nominated to become a member of the United States Sentencing Commission. Additionally, Candice Chiu Wang served as a law clerk to Obama-appointed U.S. Supreme Court Justice Sonia Sotomayor. Making matters worse, Alex worked for Covington and Burling, which is one of the law firms that President recently stripped of its security clearance and terminated all of the government contracts via executive order on February 25th, 2025. Trump accused Covington LLP of being involved in the weaponization of government. Why do we have Chinese deputy national security advisor who is married to a Chinese U.S. attorney who worked under Obama and Biden and who helped prosecute J6ers after the stolen 2020 election? It says this is unacceptable. And given the Chinese connection, it really makes you wonder if Jeffrey Goldberg, the reporter from the Atlantic Times, was added to the Trump signal chat on purpose as part of a foreign op to embarrass the Trump administration on behalf of China. Alex Wang should be removed from his position, and both he and his wife should be investigated by the FBI. And she tags Dan Bongino, Kash Patel, Donald Trump, and J.D. Vance. And then she comes with her receipts. This was the first one that Trump, second term, where he appoints Alex Wang. Mike Waltz. I am thrilled to have Alex Wang on the NSC as President Trump's principal deputy national security advisor. Candice Chi, Alex Wang. There's some more information on her, but then she came up with another post. And again, you have to ask yourself, what is going on? Was it just merely an accident? Was there foul play? That's what needs to be investigated. That's what, if Democrats actually cared, the operation went off without a hitch. Operation was smooth. The only problem we have is, how did that person get in there? And how do we prevent, a left-wing journalist and activist from getting any more involved in the signal chats? So she did this one. Where'd it go? Hold on. It says exclusive Deputy National Security Advisor Alex Wang, father-in-law. She goes deep. Had direct ties to the CCP, and she tweeted at Mike Waltz. The father of Candice Chi Wang, the wife of Alex Wang, the Trump-appointed Chinese Deputy National Security Advisor under Michael G. Waltz, who is now at the center of the Signalgate scandal, was directly tied to the CCP and the People's Liberation Army of China via his 23-year-long career with AsiaSat, the leading satellite solution provider in Asia. AsiaSat Holdings is jointly owned by Chinese state-owned CITIC Limited and a private equity fund, the Carlyle Group. It says AsiaSat is essentially partially owned by the CCP as a state-owned entity in China. Dr. Yahoo Chiu, I can't do that 3 times fast, Alex Wong's father-in-law, was a key figure in the early development of AsiaSat. He joined the company in 1989 and played a pivotal role in its technical operations, according to records I have uncovered. As a senior technical overseer of AsiaSat, Chiu managed all aspects of the launches of AsiaSat 1, AsiaSat 2, AsiaSat 3S, 4, 5, while also supervising the maintenance and operation of the company's satellite fleet. AsiaSat, Asia's first privately owned satellite company, has provided communication services that reportedly support Chinese military units and enterprises owned by the Chinese military, raising questions about its broader geopolitical implications. So she goes through all this right here, brings the receipt. So again, could this be one of those things that we don't know about? Possibly. Hopefully that it's looked in. Now, so they're upset that no laws were broken. Nobody did, unless it was an infiltrator, did anything intentionally. How many remembers this? What do you think Democrats said to this? Sure, they didn't call him a traitor like we did.
Chinese thought wrongly that the United States was going to attack them. I am certain, guaranteed certain, that President Trump had no intent to attack. And it was my task to make sure I communicated that. And the purpose was to de-escalate, calm things down.
You shared all that earlier, I
And
understand.
as part of that,
Just say, did you or did you not tell him that if we were going to attack, you would let him know?
as part of that conversation, I said, General Lee, there's not going to be a war. There's not going to be attack between great powers. And if there was, the tensions would build up. There'd be calls going back and forth from all kinds of senior officials. I said, hell, General Lee, I'll probably give you a call, but we're not going to attack you. Trust me, we're not going to attack you. These are 2 great powers, and I am doing my best to transmit the president's intent, President Trump's intent, to ensure that the American people are protected from an incident that could escalate.
I understand your intent, but I think you articulating that you would tell him, you would give him a call, I think is worthy of your resignation.
So you had General Milley working on the phone with the Chinese CCP, the Communist Party of China, telling him, if Trump plans anything with China, don't worry. I'm going to pick up the phone and warn you. Where was the Democrat outrage? This was on Capitol Hill. This traitor has bragged about this. I didn't hear Pocahontas, Dollar Store Obama, Adam Schiff saying, this is wrong. This is wrong. We can't have a 4-star general working behind the president's back, whether we agree or disagree with the president. Could you imagine if under Biden, one of the generals were a rogue general and admitted openly in testimony that he worked against the president's orders, and he told Afghanistan, China, anyone, hey, if Biden thinks about attacking, going to war, I will pick up the phone and call you myself. Again, what you're seeing today is all fabricated. It's lighting the fire. It's gas on the flames. Because why? Because the polling numbers of Trump, the American people support what Trump is doing, and they have no answers to it. Because again, when the election happened, and for the first time, you have all 7 swing states won by one person, Donald Trump, And these people are like, we got to analyze how this is working out. We're not doing so well with our electorate. Well, why? Instead of going back and saying, you know what? We've lost touch with the American people. We're no longer for the working middle class. We're no longer for women's rights. We want men in women's sports. We want boys in girls' locker rooms in the schools. We need to rethink this. And they started talking about it. Remember, we got them on the program and we were like, so are they going to shift? And I said, I hope they don't. Because if they don't shift and they continue down the road they're on, this gives us about 8 to 12 years. And sure enough, they doubled down. They're still doubling down. So they have nothing to run on. You have this traitor here that they were okay with Milley. Milley became like the icon, the idol of many on the left. Let's see if you guys look at this. Now, again, somebody accidentally got added to a Signal chat. We think accidentally. We don't know if there was an infiltrator. As of right now, it was accidentally. They're looking into it. Nobody was killed. Do you remember Democrats calling for anybody to be fired when these 13 service members were killed in the line of duty? Do you remember any of that? I don't. I remember Republicans saying, hey, we need an investigation into this. But I don't remember Democrats, Adam Schiff, Pocahontas. I don't remember any of them saying no. Actually, I heard the opposite. They tried to blame this on Trump because Trump wanted the withdrawal in Afghanistan. And they pretended like Biden didn't have the presidential powers to say, this is how we're going to do it. And Biden did use his presidential powers. And guess what? It was Trump that comforted their families. It was President Trump, not Biden, not Kamala Harris. Actually, you know what? There was a picture that made pretty famous. Let's see. See if this is it really quick. There we go. Remember when they were loading the service members with a flag? Oh, hold on. Where'd it go? Why does it do that? Let me pull this up really quick. Kick this on a little higher. It's getting warm in here, so the computer's having a hard time.
She was the one who posted that Instagram post holding the baby saying, I love my job, just a few days. Nicole G., who was one of the 2 female Marines who were killed.
I got to get out of here, guys. These people are already dead. This is what Joe Biden was thinking.
Killed among the 13.
Yeah.
She was the one who posted that Instagram.
And then guess what? After he did that, let me show you again.
Nicole G., who was one of the 2 female Marines who were killed among the 13.
At that time, they were wheeling over caskets of some of those soldiers draped with American flags. And you know what we saw? We saw the fake news say that this was another one of those. Biden didn't do that. Biden didn't look down at his watch during this. This is all fake news. This is right-wing media spinning stuff. That's what they said. They lied about it. Kamala Harris lied about it. The whole Biden administration. KGP, the press secretary, lied about it. Was there any calls at that point from Democrats? Like maybe we need some answers? No. Well, how about this?
She was the one.
Not only did we lose 13 soldiers, not only did we lose 13 soldiers, we lost $85 billion worth of military equipment to terrorists. And then they had the goal to rub it in our face and have a parade with our military equipment. Take a look at this. Was there any calls from Adam Schiff? Was there any calls from Pocahontas? How about dollar store Obama? Anything? No. Look at this. That is all our military equipment. Oh, hold on. Let me refresh it because it is...
درنو لیدونکو او د ملي رادیو اوریدونکو دا د امریکایي اشغال د هیواد د آزادۍ او فتحې په دې مراسمو کې د شامي امارت هوایي ځواکونه هم پوځي نمایشات ترسره کوي او د زمیني ځواکونو ملاتړ کوي. هوایي ځواکونه په اوسني عصر کې د هیواد د دفاع اساسي عناصر ګڼل کېږي. اسلامي امارت د هوایي ځواک تقویې ترمیم او پراختیا ته کلک تعهد لري او په تېرو 3 کلونو کې ګڼ شمېر څرخه کې او الوتکې ترمیم او د پرواز وړ ګرځولې دي.
$85 billion.
بینندگان و شنوندگان مراسم، اینک کندک دوم تانگاهای زیری جاریدار آمریکایی که در میدان نبرد.
Crap. And one other thing. They said it was a successful withdrawal. Guys, we covered it that evening. How many remember this? Remember all those people flying off that plane? Remember, it was American citizens. I think Glenn Beck helped. A couple former military people went and chartered their own flights to Afghanistan to help get people out, American citizens that were stranded there. But God forbid they accidentally add somebody to a text. Think about this. It doesn't take critical thinking to know what's going on here, folks. It doesn't take critical thinking to know what's going on here. It's absolutely sad and it's disgusting. But again, this is what the media is going to go with until the next thing they can lie or distort or do anything because, again, they have nothing. They have nothing. Listen to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Just take out a reporter. I want more of this. These fake news reporters that literally they get paid for propaganda. They get paid for pushing a narrative. They don't get paid for exposing anything, journalizing the truth. They don't get paid for any of that. They get paid for pushing stories. And that's exactly what they are, as stories. Listen to Marjorie Taylor Greene right here. This is epic. Yeah, if I was in Georgia, I'd be raising my hand right now and say, I voted for this.
Yep. Anybody else?
Should the defense secretary...
What country are you? Wait, what country are you from?
From the UK.
Okay, we don't give a crap about your opinion and your report. Country where you have a major migrant problem,
okay,
and you no, you should care about your own borders.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
Let me tell you something. Do you care about people from your country? What about all the women that are raped by migrants?
Do you care
No,
about
by migrants. No, do you care? Okay, you're done.
Do you care about American lives being put at risk?
You know what? I don't care.
Service members fighting for your country.
I don't care about your
vice
fake news.
president
Do you have a
and your
relevant
defense
question?
secretary.
Yeah.
Do you think reporters from the UK were that forceful or even ask any questions when we had 13 soldiers die from a botched Biden withdrawal from Afghanistan? No. And good for Marjorie Taylor Greene. Good for Marjorie Taylor Greene. Let's see. What was the next one? Maybe I'll pull that up really quick. Let's see. Just checking something out really quick.
wearing a mask in a long time.
Let's pull this up.
You feel more comfortable, right?
This is live.
Good. That's good. So go ahead.
You said you want to return education control to the states. How would you handle it if a state like California were to put in place education policies you disagree?
Oh, something happened. We'll back it up a little. It'll let us. It probably won't. Yeah, oh well. We'll go on with the show. The show must go on. Let's see what else we got here. So check this out. Now that this mishap happened, we have, you're not going to believe this, we have a group of leftists that is suing the Trump administration, Pete Hegseth. It's called American Oversight. And so they filed yesterday, and you're not going to believe this. Just a coincidence, right? Guess what judge they got? Chief Judge James Boasberg, the same one that is protecting criminal illegal aliens, the ones that have been classified as terrorists, the same judge that asked him to turn around a military plane in mid-flight. That is the judge that they got there. So it's going to be a crap show, guys. It's going to be a crap show, but it's going to get worse and worse. But that's this what we wanted to start the news off on, covering a little bit of that. And check this out. This was from Libs of TikTok. Rep. Julie McCluskey, a Democrat, is advocating for a bill that would allow the state to fund abortions through Medicaid, and justifies by claiming that choosing abortion would save Colorado money because it's cheaper than giving birth. Let's just murder the kids, guys. I'm not making this up. Let's see. Put that there. The fans, even my fans going out is getting so warm. Take a listen to this. I don't even know where to begin anymore.
Savings comes from the averted births that will not occur because abortions happened instead. So more expensive than an abortion. So the savings comes in Medicaid births that will not occur. This bill will actually decrease costs for our healthcare policy and financing department, our Medicaid expenditures in both this year and out years, as the savings from averted births outweigh the cost of covering reproductive health care for all Coloradans. This bill requires all abortion services to be state funded. The bill requires an increase to general fund of $1.5 million to cover the cost for care. But again, a reminder that ultimately the state will see a cost savings. And ultimately, it is truly an honor to be here carrying this bill alongside Rep. Garcia. And I ask for your support of Senate Bill 180.
These people are going to burn in eternal hell. This is disgusting. So let's get this straight, guys. If we just murder the child, we're going to save money. We need $1.5 million to murder them. But then in the long term, that kid's not going to be playing t-ball and break its arm. That kid's not going to fall down roller skating and break its ankle. So we're going to save money on that broken ankle, that broken arm, that dislocated shoulder. That's what this woman is saying right here. Man, I'll tell you what, the greatest blessings I have are my 3 kids. By far, even though some of them get on my nerves sometimes. I could not imagine life without them. I couldn't imagine being a parent, a mother or a father, and using the life as a child as a cost-saving method. I mean, these are the Democrats that tell you they're trying to cut your Social Security, they're trying to cut your Medicaid. Man, again, justice might not be served on this earth, but it's going to be served for some people down in that hell they're going to. And that's the only thing that I get. You shouldn't be happy about that. But when you talk and you, so let me get this straight. That would be like, I'm not even going to use that. No, I could. A Republican saying, well, you know what? 57% of the violent crime comes from black people. We're just going to murder them. Save money in our prison system. These people are off their rockers, dude. I cannot. I want to play it one more time, just in case. Just in case. And again, this is not what we mean by Doge. This is not government efficiency.
That savings comes from the averted births that will not occur because abortions happened instead. So more expensive than an abortion. So the savings comes in Medicaid births that will not occur. This bill will actually decrease costs for our healthcare policy and financing department, our Medicaid expenditures in both this year and out years, as the savings from averted births outweigh the cost of covering reproductive health care for all Coloradans. This bill requires all abortion services to be state funded. The bill
So they want to use your tax dollars to murder children. That's all they're doing. Abortion is murder. Not going to change my mind on it. Not going to ask me to be, well, you just, what about in this case? What about in this case? There's a lot of people in this world that I think ending their life would probably be, again, I'm pro-life for everybody innocent. Let's put it that way. So we don't have a whole lot to do on Tesla today. And I'm trying not to laugh right after we had to deal with that abortion thing, but I want you guys to watch this guy. It says heavyset man in Texarkana, Texas. We've been there quite a few. Was arrested on March 25th after allegedly starting a Tesla vandalism spree using a mini four-wheeler outside an all-you-can-eat buffet. And I just want to say, I think this person spent a whole lot of time scoping out these Teslas from inside the all-you-can-eat buffet. It says DeMarkian M. Cox, 33, is suspected of damaging Tesla cars at 3 locations. I'm sorry. When you see it, you'll know why. The first incident occurred at Golden Place Buffet, where Cox was captured on video ramming a Tesla with an ATV at full speed. Police also received reports of another Tesla damaged in Lowe's parking lot and a third Tesla damaged near Genesis Prime Care. Cox has previous arrests for domestic violence. Hold on. Oh my God, what have we got into? Oh my gosh, look. Boy, that thing, I guarantee, I don't know what it weighs, but I guarantee if you take about 200 pounds off it, that thing's flying over that Tesla. Again, I as I said earlier, because we had that, I didn't pull up a whole lot of Tesla stuff today. Where are we going as a country? Check this out. again, we've seen, we're going to get into Rep. Jasmine Crockett here in a minute. We covered how she was calling for violence against Tucker Carlson, saying some words that some people think are unfriendly about the disability of Governor Greg Abbott, and her assault on a reporter. But we all know Justin Pearson, another one of those that seems to be hand chosen, the very similar, the Jihad Squad. He's a Nashville state representative. Look at today.
House Bill 1390. The noes prevail. House Bill 1392 fails.
No. He gets up and the other members just sitting there. They have to pull this man. Look at that guy. He's just sitting there. So something's in the water here, guys. Something's in the water. And I see stuff like that, and it just reiterates the Department of Justice and all the other groups talking about how white supremacy is the biggest danger to this country. And looking at all the videos I've seen lately, I would have to agree. So we seen yesterday. Oh, I didn't pull it up. Hold on. Let me pull it up. Let's see. I got to pull it up to show you how. Rep, just in case you weren't with us yesterday, how Rep. Jasmine Crockett assaulted a journalist. We won't get into all the other things she seems to be, and I wouldn't even call it hot water. But it's kind of the same thing. Both parties do the same thing that they're doing right now with Pete Hegseth. The Republicans are just doing it to Jasmine Crockett again. Best thing to do.
Would you like to clarify your comments?
Good luck.
As you can see. Congressman, will you condone violence at the test? Would you like to clarify your comments?
Good luck.
As you can see. Congressman, will you condone violence at the test? Would you like to clarify your comments?
Condone violence?
Good luck.
As she gets violent with the reporter, that reporter, as we covered yesterday in the live stream, filed a police report and everything else. But she's playing the victim. Now she has DC police ensuring that the First Amendment is taken away from those who want to ask her questions. You're an elected representative of we the people. Look at this, and I feel bad for this cop. I think he's just about as bad as a tyrant. Watch when this reporter walks up. Look at. He walks up. He wants to ask a question. He's not being.
Hey, Congresswoman, do you regret your early?
See her swing her finger and that cop move like he's a trained dog. Look at. Come on.
About Governor Greg Abbott.
The victim here. This is classic Democrats. And again, she's elected in Texas. I don't know how that works in Texas, guys, obviously, but listen.
Congresswoman, do you regret your earlier comments you made about Governor Greg Abbott?
Cops like, we don't have a First
Hey,
Amendment.
Congresswoman, do you regret your earlier comments you made about Governor Greg Abbott?
Real good look. Real good look for Capitol Police, by the way. Pretty much, how do I want to say it? Pretty much running cover for Jasmine Crockett. That is crazy. Let me pull this up really quick. See if it'll pop up here. In today's society, it's tough to be a man in the world dominated by overly masculine liberal women. That's just not how it's meant to be. Everywhere we look, it's gender neutral. This product are made for her. That product, that is why we started a company that embodies the ethos of men's lives matter too. with products that aren't designated to be gender neutral are used by people with pronouns. Our products at Rumble are designed and built for men by men, period. If you struggle with low energy, mood swings, hair loss, if you need to perform better at the gym, maybe in bed, and recover quicker after, throw out all your other garbage supplements and try animal organs. They are traditionally the most nutrient-rich supplement on the planet, but our bison organs are a step above. The grass-fed, non-vaccinated bison are a species where the weak are allowed to die and only the strongest survive. So here's our commitment to you. From men who have real confidence in their products, try this today. And if you don't like it, fine, return it for a refund. Go to benaked.com. That's benaked.com. Code studio and get 15% off today. So go check them out. Go read the reviews. Check them out online. We appreciate it. What else do we got? So I meant to cover this yesterday. There's two things I meant to cover yesterday that we're now covering today. I don't know how many of you seen, I won't give it away, but you guys will be able to figure it out in the comments. There was a chapter president of Turning Point USA at the University of Texas, Dallas. They had, and they do this all over college campuses. They do this at Fresno. They have all these different chapters. And well, you guessed it. You guessed it. Somebody went crazy. Take a look at this.
Oh, that's full assault.
Go, go! That's the right one. There we go. Person, see they have a bike lock. Hold on, this isn't the right one, but this will give you an idea. That was the booth that they had. And that person riding away. This is really common on college campuses. As you guys know, back through 2016 through 2020, even later on, we've been to multiple college campuses where Antifa shows up, Trans Tifa shows up. They're violent. They try to shut down events. They try to get them canceled because, again, they're fascists. That's what they do. They don't want freedom of speech. This was this person. Let's see. Why is it not the good one? Hold on one second. I'm going to pull it up. Let me go to the next one here. And pull up the better video that shows. Just give me one moment here. I guess I didn't pull that one up. Let's see. Let me copy this and put this over here. I was all excited to show you this one because I totally forgot about it last night, and then I seen that they caught the person. Let's see. Here it is. No. Oh, yeah. This is what this person did. Come on.
Oh, that's full assault.
Go, go! Back up! Pulled out the bike.
Oh, that's full assault.
Go, go! Back up!
Oh, that's full assault.
Go, go! Back up!
Oh, that's full assault.
Go, go! Back up! So this happens. This happens, and you know that this is one thing that disturbs me. We're so worried about Jews on our campus when this has been going. Same things that's been happening to Jews have been happening to conservatives and Christians on campus for a long time. Well, this person, it wouldn't be the first time they've went through and tried to do something like this. But there was an update last night. That person did swung a bike lock. They injured some folks. And turns out more trans terrorism. This was from Charlie Kirk. Breaking update, Collin County, Texas has made the arrest public. The attacker has been charged with multiple felonies and identified as an Asian male named Liam Tan Tam Ninh. More trans violence. This was an update too that Charlie Kirk posted. It said UTD Campus PD has just contacted our chapter leadership and confirmed that the attacker has been placed in jail. Now again, I want to show you what this person did one more time, just in case.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Remember the bike lock? Was that Berkeley? I think it was. I don't know if it was one of the Battle of Berkeley's, but one of the professors that attacked had black bloc on and was later identified because 4chan hacked his Amazon account, and the exact same bike lock that he had bought on Amazon, he'd bought multiple of them, was the same one he used to crack people over the head. Just insane. Let me do some. Oh, I don't have that. Insane, guys.
Go!
And of course, after this person, pretending to be a woman, did the assault, they fled. And then people identified this person as the same one that biked through Alex Stein's event and kicked the camera and mic setup. Look, hopefully, they charge this person for this as well.
You on camera! I got you on camera! She kicked me. She kicked me.
This person's been getting away with this stuff for quite a while and nothing's been done. I think now with this administration in here, things are a little different. This was Andy Nose reporting on it, saying the violent trans extremist who attacked conservative female student at UT Dallas with a bike lock is a Vietnamese American man, Liam Tan Tam Nguyen. He uses the alias Alyssa. His Vietnamese name, Tan Tam, is a male name. Nguyen has been arrested on suspicion of 2 felony counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, felony assault on an officer, felony attempting to take a weapon from an officer, and misdemeanor charges of resisting arrest and 2 counts of criminal mischief. So I hope somebody is putting in a request of that body cam video of those officers, because look at that. I didn't even hear all that before. Felony assault on an officer, felony attempted to take a weapon from an officer, and misdemeanor charges of resisting arrest. Guess what? We are done with trans terror. You mentally ill people, you want to go play dress up and play your games, do it. Do not assault our people. Bottom line. Hopefully this person can be deported too. What else do we got going on here? Let's see. So I thought this was just great. I just want to show you. I actually listened to our VP, JD Vance, talk. He went over and visited the Marine Corps at the Quantico base, and then he had some fun, a lot of fun. Take a look at our VP here.
Ready?
I want my VP being able to hand weapons like that. Remember when AOC and Tim Walz decided, you know what, I'm running for VP. I'm gonna play a live stream video game on Twitch. Now, see, I just love that sound too. I could watch that all day long. This was yesterday, and somehow it slipped through the cracks. I know I don't think I'm going to investigate anybody. I don't think there's going to be an impeachment, but somehow this communication did not get through to me during the live stream. I know Democrats are calling for the firing of somebody. There's nobody to fire but me, and if we fire me, there's no more Oreo Army. There's no more Oreo Express. So listen to what Trump says
understanding
here.
Of what exactly is in those files. Next, sir, we have a presidential memorandum for your attention. This memorandum requires the immediate declassification of all FBI files relating to the Crossfire Hurricane investigation. This was obviously one of the instances of the weaponization of law enforcement powers of prosecution against you and others. We believe that it's long past time for the American people to have a full and complete understanding of what exactly is in those files.
Which gives the media the right to go in and check it. You probably won't bother because you're not going to like what you see. But this was total weaponization. It's a disgrace. Should never happen in this country. But now you'll be able to see for yourselves, all declassified. Is that correct? Would you say all declassified?
Yes, sir.
Everything?
The FBI file with there's a classified annex, but other than that, this we'll put everything in the public eye.
Is anybody going to look? What about you? You going to look? And frankly, the FBI should be ashamed of themselves.
Yes, they should. Yes, they should. They were weaponized. And again, maybe this is why Adam Schiff's trying to distract so hard today. I don't know. But it seems that, again, we're going to find out a lot of stuff as this is being released. Now, will it change anything? I don't think so. I'm just going to tell you. The main thing is that we know the truth already. We don't need any FBI files. Legacy media won't cover it. This won't be like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they knowingly lied to the American people. No, you're not going to get any shock and awe out of legacy media. This was today. Trump was celebrating women.
They destroyed women's space.
Take a listen to this. And there's some good ones here, folks. What I voted for.
For 4 long years, we had an administration that tried to abolish the very concept of womanhood and replace it with radical gender ideology. Maybe you heard something about that. They destroyed women's spaces and even tried to replace the word mother with the term birther person. A mother became a birther person. What's that all about? Then you wonder why they lost. They're trying to figure out why did they lose. I saw a congressman today for the Democrats. He was having a big fight on television early this morning, trying to make it so that really he thinks men should play in women's sports. He hasn't given that up yet. He was fighting like crazy. I said, this guy is going to lose. He's going to lose badly. The whole party is still into that. They haven't learned and we don't want them to learn, frankly. We want them to keep fighting. Let's not tell them. Under the Trump administration, we're ending the Marxist war on women, and you had a war on women, and we're protecting women's rights, defending women's dignity, and standing up for the American moms and daughters. So many are represented here, great people in this room. American women have never had bigger champions than all of us in the White House. I mean, it's me, but it's the group of men and women.
Now we got some other clips that are just great. Again, the insanity, how I seen one of these weirdos the other day, and I just happened to be 90% of the time I'm in political gear. And
I don't think so.
Look on their face.
There aren't too many people. On day one, I made the official policy of the United States. There are only two genders, male and female. Is there anybody, seriously, is there anybody that disagrees with that in this room? I was thinking maybe somebody from the press might raise their hand. I don't think so. There aren't too many people.
Is there anybody that disagrees with this, that there are only two genders? And he's looking around and he says, I thought somebody in the press might raise their hand. Beautiful, beautiful. And let's see what this is here. Got another statement from Trump. This one, again, talking about the gender mutilization, just the
no matter how
insanity.
no matter how many surgeries you have or chemicals you inject, if you're born with male DNA in every cell of your body, you can never become a woman. You're not going to be a woman. And that's why last month I proudly signed a historic executive order to ban men from competing in women's sports, and it was very popular and very. No matter how many surgeries you have or chemicals you inject, if you're born with male DNA in every cell of your body.
Every cell of your body, folks. I can't tell you how many times we've said this. I've been saying it for years. And now we have an administration in there, again, that are putting women first. That's all they are doing. You know, if I was to go put on blackface right now, they would they would cancel you. They would say you're racist, you're a bigot, all these Nazi, all these other words. But if I was to put on women face, they would say, accept him. He is a woman. Think about that for a second. Think about that. Crazy. Let's see. Are we gonna, what's this one? Again, we got to make America healthy again. I'm doing my part, folks. I'm eating healthy. We don't got no more dyes in the house. We don't have any, it's as healthy as you can think. I mean, it's not always nice, but I'm doing a good job on it. Listen to this.
And we got
to
so many things
we got to worry about this.
There's so many things that we are doing wrong. Something happened. If you go back 20 years, autism, think of it. 1 in 20,000 children. Think of that. 1, autism. You see it all over. 1 in 20,000 children. Now it's 1 in 36 children. Now, what the hell is that all about? There's something out there, and we got to find it. But can you imagine 1 in 20,000, and now it's 1 in 36, not 36,000, 1 in 36 children. And I see it all the time. And so there's something out there, and we're going to find it. We're doing something really wrong, and it might be very simple to even correct, but we're looking very hard, and Bobby's looking very hard, and we're going to figure it out.
Again, with his appointments, with his promises, they are working on that. And again, we've discussed this pretty thoroughly. People say, "Oh, it can't be vaccines." Okay, if it's not vaccines, what is it? Let's fix it. Is it pesticides? Is it the food we're eating? What is it? And we need to figure that out. 1 in 36 is extremely high. That's 1 in 36 people, that not all of them, but some of them will always have to have some type of form of help. They don't develop normally. It's just crazy. Some of them are mute. They don't speak. And again, I have a friend, and I tell you about that. They had a child talking, went in for the 2-year-old vaccines, got a fever a week later. Nothing, no talking, totally different child. So again, I'm not saying what it is. I'm not saying what it's not, but I'm glad we have a government that's looking into it now. I think that should make us all feel safer. And then this is great. I've been seeing some of the TikToks out there where people are going to the grocery store. I think 2 weeks ago, we talked about the wholesale price of eggs going down per dozen. Again, and the wholesale price, that's distributor, wholesale to distributor, all that. That takes some time to hit the consumer, 2 to 3 weeks sometimes. And now it is, I'm seeing people excited to buy eggs. I know wasn't much cheaper, but we buy 5 dozen eggs, and it was $21 down from 24 on 5 dozen eggs. So that's $4 a dozen, $4.20 a dozen. That was at Costco. Again, we do go through quite a few eggs. So listen to this though. Gas is down. What was it yesterday? Now I'll let him talk.
The cost of groceries, a word that I used a lot on the campaign, like that. But we also, by the way, we lowered energy costs really like tremendously. Energy's way down. Cost of gasoline's way down. The cost of groceries, a word that I used a lot on the campaign. It's like an old-fashioned word, but it's a beautiful word, very descriptive word. And the groceries are coming down, Brooke, at a level that we're finally getting costs under control in our country, and people don't like talking about it because it's so good, it's so positive.
So they are starting to see cost transition down. Again, it's amazing because it's going against what everybody said would happen with tariffs. And again, there can be some price increase with tariffs, mainly because of speculation and because of people are worrying. But the last time we had tariffs, and guess what? I spent millions of dollars on imported product from China at that time as a purchasing manager for a large manufacturer. And we always worked out agreements with our suppliers because they didn't want to lose the business. So they ate a large portion of that. And they would say, okay, it's a 10% tariff. We'll cover 6% and we'll cover the freight cost to you. So when it all ended out, it was equal, no cost increase. I think at that time it was a container from China, and I think it was about $4,000 per container. I hear it's about $6,500 now. Again, I haven't been in the industry for 4 years now, but that's what it seems like. Now let me pull up some. We got a couple more things to cover, but I wanted to see. There's probably some new comments from Trump up here that have been posted while we were live, of course. How about this one? Oh, these people. Tesla Model Y damaged. Look at this. So innocent. Ooh, man. Oh, slam, slam, slam. Oh, slams her door in it. She's willing to dent her own car. Look at this lady. Man, you cannot tell me these people are not deranged, possessed, or something. Wow. That one, just so you guys would know, that is Columbus, Ohio. So if you know that woman, and I will be sharing that out shortly on X, let them know. Let's see what else we have. Oh, you know what? I love this. I love this. I meant to show you this yesterday too, and it wasn't on there, but I'm pulling it up today. Listen to this.
I said I was going to, and I did. Is there any talk of, because they lost opportunity, they lost... No, but I took care of
about J6ers, folks.
No, but I took care of them. I said I was going to, and I did. Is there any talk of, because they lost opportunity, they lost income, any kind of compensation fund? Well, there's talk about that. We have a lot of people talk about it. A lot of the people that are in government now talk about it because a lot of the people in government really like that group of people. They were patriots as far as I was concerned. I talk about them a lot. They were treated very unfairly. You know, the thing they show is they show a group of 1,000, whatever it may have been, 1,500 people down. What they don't show, you never see the crowd that day. It was the biggest crowd I've ever spoken before. It went all the way to the Washington Monument. It was so wide, you virtually couldn't see anything else but people. They never show that. Whether it was 1 million people or less than 1 million, I don't know what it was, but you know, I see Bernie Sanders has a few people out there. They say, oh, the crowd is so big. They don't talk about the crowds. But a group of people went down there peacefully.
So he's talking about compensation and some other things for the J6 political prisoners, which I strongly support. And by the way, for those of you that's been following, I did speak with Ben Martin today. Just checked in with him. He's dealing with a lot of issues. He's still not free and clear. All his charges are J6 related. He was released from prison, as we had covered. but the fight's not over for him. So please say a prayer for Ben Martin. He's a great patriot. They call these people heroes, and anybody that's an activist like Ben Martin, away from J6. A lot of people went to J6 as their first type of political thing. Ben was doing this for a while. He was fighting for individual liberties and rights for many people for quite a while, and that's why he was a target, and that's why he's still a target. So prayers for Ben. Let me pull this up and see before we get into some of the other stuff. Here we go.
In America, we're going to take back just some of the money that has been taken from us by people sitting behind this desk or another desk that's not quite as nice, but they have their choice of 7, as you know. And we're going to charge countries for doing business in our country and taking our jobs, taking our wealth, taking a lot of things that they've been taking over the years. They've taken so much out of our country, friend and foe. And frankly, friend has been oftentimes much worse than foe. And this is very modest. And what we're going to be doing is a 25% tariff on all cars that are not made in the United States. If they're made in the United States, there's absolutely no tariff. We start off with a 2.5% base, which is what we were at. And we go to 25%. And basically, as you know, and as you've been saying, not reporting as accurately as it should be reported because it's a massive story. Business is coming back to the United States so that they don't have to pay tariffs. And I think also because of November 5th, the election, they're very happy. AI is coming back to levels that nobody's ever seen before. It's a new, sort of a new business, I guess, when you think about it. But it's plants are going up all over the United States, and many of them have already been started. We're getting early electricity taken care of. We're getting permits very quickly for them, and we're going to make their life very happy. They're coming in with tens of billions of dollars. Individual plants will cost 10, 15, even $20 billion. We're going to let them build electricity generating plants along with their plant, and they can't even believe it. And we're going to get them very quick permits, as I've done always. I did that in Louisiana with 2 LNG plants. I got them one permit in 1 day after waiting 14 years, and the other one in 1 week after waiting for 12 years. But this is very exciting to me. This is the automobile industry, and this will continue to spur growth like you haven't seen before.
So again, it's like a new industrial revolution, if you'll call it that. But President Trump announces 25% tariffs on all cars shipped into the United States. That will go into effect April 2nd. Now, again, Liberation Day. I might have to get a t-shirt. How many people, this phone died. How many, let me go to the comments. How many people would buy a Liberation Day t-shirt in April 2nd? That would trigger them. I'm not gonna design one unless you guys say you would get one. But if you guys would get a Liberation Day t-shirt, I would love to wear one, but I'm not going to design one for myself. That's a little too much work. Okay, let's move on here. Check this out. I love my coffee. Weak coffee is for the weak, and at Rumble, weak has never been part of the mission. No fillers, no fraud, and no settling for mediocrity. Just like 1775 coffee. It's single origin, small farm, hand-picked, specialty grade coffee that stands for quality, free speech, and calling out BS when it matters. Forget stale, mass-produced beans roasted just enough to hide the flaws. Dark roast hits like a Trump tariff. Medium roast keeps it bold without the bitterness. And Vitality Mushroom Blend, real energy and lasting focus. No synthetic garbage. For K-Cup pods, whole bean, or fresh ground coffee, go to 1775coffee.com. Use code STUDIO for 15% off and start your morning with coffee that stands for something. Oh, and every dollar spent enters you to win a Cybertruck and $30,000 cash. I'm going to need a Cybertruck soon. So if you win, you keep the cash, you give me the Cybertruck, guys. That's how we're going to do it. Check this out. So we know that we have that rogue judge that wanted a plane to turn around that was full of foreign terrorists that had came into the country illegally. Well, the Trump administration was fighting that, and we had Bill Malugin post a federal appeals court has denied the Trump's administration's request to block Judge Boasberg order on deportations of Venezuelan gang members to El Salvador via the Alien Enemies Act. The order blocks the Trump admin from further deportations via the Alien Enemies Act. I think there was another one that was posted up here. This was CNN. A federal appeals court has maintained the temporary block on President Trump's use of the Alien Enemies Act. We've talked about this in till we're blue in the face. I didn't know that when a judge, an unelected judge, could rule as a president, especially when it comes to the safety and security of our nation. It's just absolutely insane. But I want to thank you all for tuning in. I will be near the studio tonight, so if anything breaks, we will be going live. Again, folks, want to say thank you for tuning in. We are 100% viewer funded. If you guys want to help and donate, we appreciate the blessing. $1, $5, $50. It all helps out, and we can't thank you enough for being supporters. You can go to Venmo at Oreo Josh. It's down there on the bottom. GivesendGo.com/Oreo 2024. We also have Cash App, $ Oreo Army. And we also have a Zelle link. That is on our website if you prefer Zelle transfers. Go to theoreoexpress.com and scroll down the homepage a little bit, and you will see the Donate Now button. Again, appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. And again, if anything pops up, we will be live later. If not, have a blessed night, and we'll see you tomorrow morning. God bless.